What's going on, everyone? So from the moment that Kenny and Jim discovered that little village with the wooden statues as well as the huts, you knew that that was going to play some type of role, some type of significance in this season, right? That wasn't just a scene for no reason. That wasn't just randomly there just for the sake of it being randomly there. And it's played a role in all 3 episodes thus far of the season, right? Obviously, there was the first episode where that was their shelter. That's where they went and discovered it. Then episode 2, in the aftermath, after Tien dies, right? That's where all the food kind of just spruns up overnight. I've talked about, I believe Tien was a sacrifice in order to appease Fromville, in order to provide food. Did a whole video about that. If you're interested in that, go check that out after this video, of course. And then in episode 3, everyone goes back and they're clearly setting something up that is coming, something that is on the horizon, right? Because you see, again, you see Christy, Jade, Kenny, a couple other of the townspeople go back to regroup and claim all of the food that was there. They find berries and cabbage and a little bit of everything for the entire town. The idea was like, hey, let's go get and gather as much of that food as possible, spend the night in the little cabins. We're safe there. Kenny and Jim, they did it. We can all do it. Stay nice and safe in the little hut, and then grab all the stuff and head back to town the next day. That's the plan. That's the goal. Well, a little wrench got thrown into that plan. Christy ended up stepping on a bear trap, which is very interesting, right? That in and of itself raised a lot of questions. It's like, 1, where did that bear trap come from? 2, why is that bear trap there? And 3, you should probably at some point take that bear trap with you to town, especially with Boyd wanting to capture one of the monsters from Fromville, right? It would make sense, like, hey, maybe use the bear trap. See if that's something, or if they gnaw their leg off or something in order to get out. That could be very interesting in and of itself as well. But one of the big things that happened in that episode, outside of Christy's injury, was that Jade was not only seeing a spirit, or whatever, a vision, hallucination, whatever it was, but he also dismantled one of the structures in order to go and help and save Christy, which completely understandable, right? You have your friend and somebody that is, if you don't get her out of here, her leg being messed up is the least of her worries, right? All these monsters to show up, she's in trouble. Now, the idea in conversation was like, hey, maybe these statues kind of operate, like Jade even throws it out, like maybe these statues operate in a way that the talismans do, which means maybe they would be safe, but there's no guarantee. You don't know. You do know that the talismans are safe, right? But Jade dismantling this really kind of sets up, I believe, foreshadowing for something crazy is about to happen, right? Each season you've had some significant outside of the monsters type thing, right? Like last season, for example, was the music box that got everyone's dreams and stuff. This area of the woods got clear, established, and all that for a reason, right? Where the monsters coming out those statues for that? Were the statues a way to kind of entrap a creature or a deity or a being, right? Like, it feels like there's going to be a repercussion for them dismantling one of those statues, right? And are they going to even be safe? Do the talismans help them in this regard, right? Because Jim and Kenny were safe that night. They heard something running around out in the woods, right? And it didn't sound like the monsters, because monsters never run, right? Like, it was something else. There's something going on out there. I've seen people theorize that maybe it's a Wendigo. Maybe Wendigo's out there kind of running around. Very possible. But something was out there. They were safe. A lot of people might think, well, they have the talismans. They didn't just have the talismans. They had the talismans and they had these wood statues. Maybe it was a combination of both to save them. Maybe it had nothing to do with the talisman. Maybe it was those wood statues. and they just destroyed one of them, that could potentially kind of open a way for somebody to get hurt. I don't think that they're just going to be all happy and cozy in that, the little cabins. I don't see that being the case. Where they're just like chilling and it's like, kumbaya, Christy, that. I think somebody is going to die. Now, I don't think that they're going to kill Christy, Kenny, or Jade yet, at least. Could they die at some point? Sure. But clearly, Jade, they got something going on with Jade. I see he's probably going to be around for a long time. Kenny, he's a guy that has some significance to Christy. Like, they've kind of been these main guys. Now, you could argue maybe, like, killing Christy. Imagine how impactful that would be. Imagine how much that could potentially break Kenny. He lost his mom, lost his dad, and then lost his the one person that he, truly loves there. That could pose some type of issues, right? But outside of those three, you have several of the just colony house members with you. So my guess is that one, if not all of them, maybe die. What's the guy's name? Hank, I think his name. The kind of rude, loudmouthed one. I could see him maybe potentially dying. Like he meets in, and it's something where Kenny and Jade help Christy because she's on one leg, and they help her to get out, and they're able to get somewhere safe, or maybe they have to carry her to town or something. I don't know. Million ways you go about that, and then everyone else kind of becomes a casualty. I would be a little surprised and a little disappointed, if I'm being honest, if Jade broke down that structure and they're spending the night in this cabin and Christy is essentially on one leg and nothing happens. Right? I feel like that's a lot of setup for nothing to happen. Right? Because again, think, you had all these people here. You have Jade seeing these visions. You have them breaking down the statue. You have Christy basically becoming, getting handicapped and only having one leg, to them kind of being stuck now and having to stay in these cabins, right? It's a lot of stuff, a lot of buildup to just have nothing come of it, right? Just them just kumbaya, sitting around the fire, laughing and telling stories. Right? There's got to be something significant that kind of develops and happens. Right? And you have the truck coming in town. I think this episode coming up is going to be very boom, 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 boom. Right? I think this is going to be a very impactful, just kind of like how episode 1 was, where it was just nonstop craziness. I think, you're going to get a bunch of people die, all of that. I think this is going to be very interesting in that regard. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think, yes, something is coming? They clearly set up and established some type of creature or monster or whatever it is going to come after them? Do you think, no, it's, they'll just, the danger was already there, right? You got Jade seeing the spirits. You got Christy dealing with the leg injury, right? You already have kind of the impact that would occur and would happen, that you don't need to kind of do anything more. The focus will be kind of the ambulance returning with Tabitha and so on and so forth. I would personally be disappointed if you set all this up, you have all this stuff kind of go on, because that's kind of what episode 3 felt like to me. Felt like the setup episode. Felt like the build-up episode, right? You had here's the punch, boom, right? Wake you up, welcome to the fight type thing. And then you had the gut check, boom, boom, right? With the very emotional episode. And then you had the kind of calm before the storm. The kind of build-up, the setup of here we go. You ready? Strap in. We got the ambulance coming back and Boyd trying to trap monsters, and you have, some of the townspeople, you have some of the beloved characters in this cabin who, is anyone going to make it? Are they going to die? Here we go. Strap in. That's kind of what this feels like to me. I just, again, I I feel like they have a really good opportunity here to just kind of like have this crazy, like, oh, and Christie's on one leg, and really kind of put us in this tense situation. But again, I feel whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know either way down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.